Hulk Inu, the strongest of all Inus, here to save the Inuverse. The war on Ethereum is on the horizon. Join the Hulk army now, Hulk-Inu.com.
What is up? What is up? Welcome back to your Hulk Inu updates. The second of many Twitter spaces where we'll talk general updates about Hulk Inu in the past week, what to expect in the coming weeks, talk NFTs, talk the market, talk whatever you guys want to talk about. You know, this is the time for the people to connect. If you want to come and share your project, share your concepts, share your NFTs, ask for advice, feel free. My ears are your ears, and I guess my voice is your voice. So feel free to come and make a connection, get some information on the space. If you're new to crypto, ask simple questions. If you're a project lead, feel free to ask questions about collaborations, about marketing, community engagements, whatever it may be, guys. Before we kick off on some of these Hulk Inu updates, right after that, we're going to be opening it up to the public for talking about whatever you like and just hanging out while I work in the background. With that being said, guys, if you're here, retweet the space, spread some love. Tell people the space is on. Shill it to communities. Shill it to devs. Shill it to anyone running a project as far as project management. Mods, admins, everybody is welcome. Bring your voice out. We can talk about the problems you face and see if we can address them as well. With that being said, guys, real brief, we'll talk about what Hulk Inu has been doing. And like I said, we'll open it up right after that. In the meantime, feel free to shill it around, spread it, spread the love. If somebody wants to come shill, they're more than welcome. No rules in here. Do your thing, just do not FUD us, and we'll try to help you where we can. So we're stronger together, stronger as a unit. With that being said, guys, so Hulk Inu in the past, a little bit above a week, but I'll start there. We attended SmartCon, a Chainlink conference, got to meet with a lot of high-end CEOs, made great networking opportunities for Hong Kong. So we're planning out going to Hong Kong in person, meeting with marketing firms, meeting with OXC. So I got to speak to Lee, and he'll be able to connect me with Star so we can talk about exchange listings in Hong Kong. It's a big issue for marketing developers. Sorry, for marketing in China as a developer. Because there's not really a direct form. They don't have a Maythouse, a Kingdom, a Senzu, a Gooby that represents them. A lot of times they're using the Western world to find information. Otherwise, they're using their own exchanges. So great that we got to go into a marketing firm there, as well as exchange listings and be able to broker a deal with them. Many other things. We got a video interview coming up from SmartCon, so that should be in the next 2 weeks or a week. So that was good. That was fun. Got to meet with a lot of other people. We actually got to speak to an ambassador from LBank. We hung out with Volt Inu and helped Volt Inu, tell people about Volt. Basically, when they asked about us, we said we're making the Meta Brawl Inu game for Volt, through Wolverino. So that was great networking, great connections. We also went to the Volt Inu after party. A rooftop party was beautiful. Got to connect with the Volt community members, talk about growth. Talk about the adapting to the bear market. So Volt Inu is someone that stands out for us as a role model because they also launched inside of a bear market. So we like to look at what they have done along with what Wolverino has done, our traditional forms of marketing. But then we ourselves as community members and team members adapt to the bear market. Some of those things are, negotiating with influencers for longer time deals, as well as bear market pricing, since there's less traffic in the general market. The same thing is for exchange listings. So sprouted from SmartCon, we were initially planning on doing, multiple exchange listings in pieces and growing higher and higher from there to address the bear market. But we got to see from other tokens being listed on very high-end exchange listings in the bear market with minimal pumps that we're readjusting into a more presence. So since I'm doxed as the dev, my picture's on the website and I'm on video often. The idea is sprouting as well from our World Tour AMA. We'll be doing a World Tour conference. So we're currently getting a list together of conferences across the world. If you have any that you hear about, feel free to send them our way, and we'll do our best to promote you at the conference along with it, saying, hey, we heard about this from so-and-so. So that way we can have some type of alliance during that conference. So we'll be flying across the world for conferences, making new connections instead of going into high-end exchange listings in our younger phase for that the traditional what an investor thinks will boost the chart. So these big exchanges range from $25,000 to $100,000 as fee. You still have to put up liquidity in Ethereum and your native token. So instead of putting up 100K, we're using our funds more wisely by going to conferences, joining hackathons, sponsoring hackathons potentially. Instead of a booth, investing into swag, being more creative with swag with QR codes and giving away bracelets and things that people will wear. So yeah, a lot of different strategies are being adjusted into the bear market by being in person as well. So that was what I wanted to say about SmartCon. I'm sure there's a lot more. We had a lot of new callers onboarded. So one of the things we've done to adapt to the bear market is not just get a one and done call. We negotiate with them for pricing, of course, depending on their impact and their influence in the space, but also for update calls. So not all marketers do that for, either, themselves tracking our project and updating us or us telling them about bullish announcements that are coming out. Stephen Clark was also onboarded as a YouTuber. So probably 12th YouTuber that is onboarded with Hulk Inu. We did a shield contest. Our second page of our Hulk vs. Bear comic is out. Very unique, revolutionary concept. We're not going to be selling comic books, guys. We'll be launching a Inu Studios company. We'll make comics for Shiba Inu, Volt Inu, Wolverine, Shibnobi, and more. Captain Inu, BB, Meta, all the Meta Brawl Inu characters will be our clientele, and we'll go from there with references to provide comics or the graphics and arts of the like for other projects. So it's going to be business to business, aka project to project. But when we do that, we're patenting our unique comic innovation, I'd say. So our comic is not just, a digital or a handheld comic. It is just full on digital, but it's in video form. So you get to view the comic. It guides panel to panel for you with narration being read to you by the one and only Kyle Hebert. He is the narrator of Dragon Ball Z, the iconic voice of your childhood. He is our narrator. On top of that, sound effects, musical backgrounds will be incorporated into this comic, as well as 2 animation videos mid-fight scene and final fight scene during this comic. They will be sold as NFTs, but they'll be sold for the utility and also in connection to the launching of Inu Studios. So quite the interesting concept. With that, it will be patented, and then we will be firstly doing business to business, providing comics, and all profits go into the chart and shareholders. So this is one of the aspects of our streamlined income into the chart. So green comes into the chart no matter what from our IRL financial gains. And then we'll be going into the comic world as well, promoting this, getting some people that may be in crypto as well, but also because we have the concept patented, and the more it spreads around, the more royalties we will get. Those royalties will go right into the chart as well. So comic, interesting long-term utility that does not exist inside of crypto, tying it into multiple different aspects. More callers came in. I'm just going through pins, and I don't want to be too long on this because I want to hear from you guys. Real Talks made a couple YouTube videos for us as well, so shout out to him. We have some really good support from the Volt Inu gang, and we had a couple of bullish Twitter spaces that came on where we were with Crypto Wonderful and Oni on their Twitter space. So that was fun on Crypto Radio. We got some calls from them, some retweets. We were the strongest community of September from CoinTruster alerts because our Twitter game is so strong. So that is a true testament to what Shilling as a community can do to us. Now we have more eyes on us. And after that, we had a 1 Ethereum buy as well. So we got to keep on staying strong as a community. When there's contests, do your thing. We're not asking you guys to promote for us for free. We do have Shilling teams, rating teams. But obviously, when it's all together, like with D-Connect, there's currently voting happening. We are top dogs on the voting, and we want to remain top dogs because we'll get some bullish rewards. D-Connect is a very large project supported by many big influencers in the background, as you saw from the space, and as I know from our network. So let's keep voting. It takes just a second. D-Connect went really well, as you can see, since we're number one in their voting. They had some bullish giveaways where if you answered a certain amount of questions, they were giving $50 to the first 10 members that got them right. I was too busy, shilling around the voting poll. So let's just keep voting. Let's make sure that we finish strong. Some information that it's not necessarily insider, but it's not publicized for reasons I'm aware of. But their voting will end Sunday at 7 p.m. EST. So let's make sure that we are on top all the way until then. Don't let them bot us. Don't let them manipulate. Let's keep watching it. Make sure we win. I do believe we get reviews from the top influencers that were on that space, as well as a spot in D-Connect in DecaBlock. So feel free to get some information from them, and maybe they'll hop on and give some info about their project and get us all nice and educated. We extended the liquidity lock, and the liquidity lock will be extended for a year at 1 million market cap and continuously be extended at our milestones. Getting near to the end of our announcements, guys. The Hulk Inu AMA standoff is here. It is coming up on the 12th, so 4 days from today, on Wednesday at 7 p.m. EST. We will have the first ever Hulk Inu AMA standoff, something that has not been done in crypto before. And just like how this space, I say everything is welcome, minimum rules, do your thing. It's about coming together stronger and operating, and this way we're able to get more eyes on each individual project, but also allows devs, project managers, influencers all to interconnect in similarities and not just have those be clashes of it's me versus you. But why not come together? Like a lot of burn tokens, dead burn tokens were out, where they definitely could have easily collaborated together with their burn aspects for AMAs or challenges. So we're trying to get it more, less of a competitive area and more as like-minded devs that are pushing long-term projects that are proving themselves over and over again to come together and, form a hive of some sort. With that being said, the participants that will be on the AMA standoff are Kodachi, Tax Haven Inu, eHive, Oni, and Mikoto. They will all be promoting it to their own discretion. Of course, they can promote as much as they like, and they'll also be coming in ready and bullish. They will bring in one judge from their community that will vote at the end. Obviously, they can't choose their own projects. And then we will have one community vote as well while that is happening. And the winner will be decided. Everything will be positive. There's no negative feedback there, which will be drilled to the judges. It's called an AMA, but realistically, it will be more of elevator pitch and voting and saying, this is why I voted for this project from those elected members from each community. As far as what's to be coming in October, new utility will be revealed. We're going to be announcing our partnership with the IRL company, and then utility will follow briefly after that. New partnerships, new collaborations, new conference spotlights. So I touched on some of these already. New exchange listings. I did not say we weren't doing exchange listings. It's just that we're incorporating conferences along with it for a bigger bang for your buck, and also to be able to meet these exchange listings in person and negotiate deals and terms and whatnot, and actually have a face to go with the name. So in China, they operate, a lot of regions operate business on a term called guangxi, which is making face. So great to be able to make a IRL relationship and not just a business relationship. With that, we'll be going into more international markets, introducing more new unique KPIs. Those are key performance indicators, not such a crypto term, but a big term inside of business and marketing. And new pump concepts. So this is just some of the minor highlights that we have just for October of what we are confident that will be coming out. We do have more aspects of the streamlined income coming in. We're going to have to call this the mystery pump or put a name to it. It's completely unique, never been done before. But it's also something that I can fully announce when it is fully done and already impacting the chart. So it's unique in the sense of it's not something that's requiring marketing. eyes onto it, hype from you guys, it'll happen, and you'll see it happening. And when those questions arise, I'll build up something for an announcement for it. So viral promo contest has concluded. Voting is out. Music contest as well for the Hulk Inu anthem is out. The music contest gets $1,000 prize. You will be the voice of Hulk Inu. As long as it's not botted, you retweet to vote gives more exposure to the artists themselves from their own hands, their own support, but at the same time, also some more eyes onto Hulk Eno. So we saw it as a win-win to do this type of voting process. Same goes for the viral promo contest. That is out now. The end date of this voting is undisclosed to forecome manipulation to the votes. So a lot of times people will bot right before the end. And obviously we've been strict. We've already restarted the music contests, and so far the viral promo contest voting seems nice and legit. We will be pursuing the viral promo contest, and you will win $250 for winning, and we will pump the chart with your idea. So hopefully it works, and it's also completely up to the community. Let me try and speed this up. I think that keeps us up to date. I don't want this to be too much about us, but I will make it about us over and over again. Yeah, I think that kind of brings everyone up to date from what happened just this week. I'll talk about NFTs at some point as well, but for now, let me see if anybody has anything they would like to share, comment, ask questions about, talk about their project, their space, what they're doing in crypto. There's other people here that may want to collaborate with you, other people that want to invest into your project. Just don't sell your whole tokens, and you're good to go. With that, feel free to request to speak, and I will unmute you. Shout out D-Connect. I see you in here. Happy to have you, bud. All right, D-Connect, you can speak.
Yeah, thank you for inviting us. First of all, congratulations, man. You guys did really well, especially for the first event that we had. I mean, you guys, 127 members we had signed up for voting, and you guys took 50% of the votes. Very well.
Hmm.
So, I guess I'll just mention a little bit more about what Deca Block is. Um, it's if you guys are aware of what DAP Radar is, it's similar to that, except that is presenting cryptos in a different way, as well as it's meant for community coins, right, or tokens, because DAP Radar, they don't really list community tokens, right? Just like Binance doesn't do that much. So we're trying to provide a gateway, for cryptos for community tokens to make their way up to DAP Radar and be recognized for their utility rather than price or anything else, outside of that. DAP Radar is actually located in the same country as me. It's a very small country, Lithuania, and the founder is Lithuanian as well. So there's a very, very big chance that in the future we might be able to work something out. But for now, what we want is a member base. This is all we're focusing on is member base and connecting with people, discovering community tokens that have a long perspective as well as a long future. So we're very, very happy to have you guys, get to know you guys. And yeah, so that's what we're doing. Deca Block will not be ready until around Christmas or maybe even towards January. It's gonna be a beta version, and it's gonna provide people. So Hulk is already 100% guaranteed. We're gonna be charging for that. For the first 400 tokens, we're not gonna charge anything. After that, we're gonna start charging for it. But it'll provide you a way to control your listing. Any updates you would like to do, you can do them. You can do them through a giveaway. You could lock these updates with your NFTs if you like. You could lock them with a specified amount of native tokens if you like. If you want to make this private, unless you want to make it available to the public, you are more than welcome to. We expect to have about 1,000 members. So far, we have 165. Most of our engagement happens on the educational platform. As you can see, the Telegram is a little bit quiet, but most of the engagement happens on there since we provide a way to socialize on there. So yeah, I think as well as on DecaBlock is going to be a 1 minute video. As mentioned, the influencers that are working with us, where we don't even call them influencers, we call them team members because we're all a part of it. Believes actually provides many ideas of what we integrate into DecaBlock. So they're going to be creating these 1 minute videos covering, in the most clear way possible for a viewer to get acquainted with what you have, right? So that way, we're not going to be focusing on the statistics, how many users are there. We don't want to be, how do you say, it's biased. Maybe we want to kind of let people decide. You see something, if you like it, you go use it. It doesn't matter how many others use it. It doesn't. None of that matters. It matters what you like. So this is the whole point of DecaBlock, is to um, allow people to get acquainted with what really matters, which is utility.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So yeah, it's bringing together community focused tokens to be listed on your site. That's really cool. So what about the like Luna style, the true community tokens, renounced contracts with just the community running it, chilling here and there? Is that just up? Well, I guess I'm answering it myself, but is that just up to them of who's going to be paying for the listing and organizing the listing for that community based token? I think you lost your speaking spot somehow. I invite you to speak. If you're still around, you should be able to speak in a second.
Accident. Yeah, it's completely up to them. Whoever wants to get listed, we're gonna be doing these Twitter Spaces every other week, all the way up until and maybe even after we launch DecaBlock. But the whole goal of this is for us ourselves to get acquainted. If you notice, we never really promoted DeConnect on it. That's not what we want to do. We want to get knowledge ourselves, right? So we want to meet the right people. We want to make sure that the ones that we list on there we can be proud of, and we could say that they're safe. But one requirement is to have a utility, right? So NFTs are actually, we consider that a utility. I mean, it's art, right? I mean, but if it's just a community token without anything at all, anything behind it except the chart, we wouldn't list it.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I like that idea for sure. That's definitely something we're going for as well. I mean, obviously not this. We're not going to steal your idea, but the idea of collaborating more and bringing people together. It's something that's missing, I think, in our side of crypto, especially in the larger coins that are are listed on Coinbase and Binance and whatnot. It's not that you can't operate individually, but it's always better to have more eyes and more people with you in your corner. So yeah, I'm really excited for DecaBlock. I personally heard about this from Bleaves as well. Bleaves is always right. Man is a genius. I love his vibe, love his style. We had a few AMAs with him, and he took an hour out of his time after the AMA, talk about our project, talk about the market, and yeah, got me into Deconnect as far as signing up and getting onto that space too. So big shout outs to Bleaves, genius.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He is very well connected. To be honest, we did not expect all of that. Starlink, Lillian Finance, like he's very well connected.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's true. Instantly just started name dropping and whatnot, and yeah, he's doing a lot of big things. He's consistent. He's got a good space.
Yes, yes. So this is what we always joke around about. We in our chat. With Blees, with Adam, it's like we have. They're so different, all of them. Adam, for example, is full of positivity. He's just like I mean, is I mean, he's just full of positivity. He's like the shaman. I call him the shaman of Deconnect, right? Because he'll always find the positive side. He'll always calm people down. So that's him. Then Journey's the very strict one, right? He's more like a military guy. Like that's where he's from, right? And then believes he's like the father. he's always serious. He's always very mature, you know. And I don't know, it's really fun, you know. Like it's really like and then we have Crypto Harvest, who we consider like our little brother, you know, because he's just beginning, you know. So, but yeah, now and we also just got Darren. Darren, man, this guy, he's just very, very. I'm not sure how to say. He makes people feel comfortable all the time. Whenever he speaks to somebody, he just makes them feel free, you know. So, trying to make sure that everybody is very different to kind of be able to create an interesting environment for whenever we're doing an event.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I agree with you for sure. I mean, I don't have much of a rapport with Darren Rodney or Crypto Harvest, but Adam Shelton goes way back to our Wolverino days. So we're the same team as Wolverino. And yeah, Adam's he's just filled with happiness.
Yes, man. I think it's the beach, maybe, you know, because he lives right on Daytona Beach. So
Yeah, yeah,
he loves
that
the
definitely could
sunshine.
be a good sunshine.
Yeah, and the sunshine state, right? So you gotta smile. The sun is smiling all the time. You have to smile.
Yeah,
but yeah,
no, yeah, I agree with you.
but yeah, guys. It's about it's 3:30 for me a.m. I'll get some rest, and thank you for inviting us over here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Get your rest. Sheesh, 3:30. I like it. That's the sign of a hardworking dev.
Oh no, yesterday it was 8 o'clock in the morning that I went to sleep the night before. But you know, it's the weekend, so I don't have to take my daughter to school in the morning. So you know, I just stay up. But I love this. I love what we're doing. I never ever look at the chart. I don't know what's going on. I like to just socialize. That's it. But
Yeah.
okay, guys. Good night, and thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, man. We'll be in touch and everything and see if we can collaborate and everything. Good luck with all your next moves and hit me up if you need anything whatsoever.
Of course, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. Big shout outs to Deca, guys. Love it. Also providing education inside of crypto. Crypto education is definitely needed. And it's Adam Shelton is a big advocate of that. So great concept, beautiful team. And we were honored to be part of their AMA and their voting process, which we're on right now. So let's pass it off. I see Swiftoshi requested to speak right at the same time, and you are approved, my guy. Feel free to do your thing. Tell us.
Mic check 1 2.
Mic check is good.
Awesome, Hulk. It's great to see you. I just messaged to connect there, um, uh, just in Twitter. Just tried that for the first time ever. Just to connect with him about community coins that are coming out of the zero DAC space, and he said something really incredible, which was utility is what matters, and that's something that I believe really deeply in, and so. Everything that we're doing at the end of the day, we're building these decentralized pools of finance, and we're remodeling, capital liquidity. And at the end of the day, we stand up these communities and we build this trust and the credit worthiness of the values and the spirit of the culture of something. But at the end of the day, the project stands up and it declares something to the world. It says, I am this. And anyways, I really loved that about what he was speaking to. So I'm going to follow up with him and see if there's any opportunity for some projects like Oni to sort of jump into the mix. There's a couple others that are in the zero tax space that he might be interested in as well that are kind of crossing that utility threshold. So I saw that you DM'd me, or maybe you promoted this on the Hulk News space. I can't really remember. Really, everything moves so fast, and I just saw it, and that's synchronicity, in the crypto space. It's like the God in the machine reaching out and saying, "Ta-da! The moment that it's live, you know about it. Show up." And I just had to jump in and say, "Hey, how's it going? Um, everybody, my name's Swifty. Uh, I'm technically Swiftoshi. And it's great to meet you. I represent tonight Oni. However, I do represent a couple of other projects just as an investor. And I would just mention them before I just jump into Oni. There's two really interesting projects right now that are developing. One is called Karma, that you may have heard of. That's Karma, Karma. And then there's another, Suka Community, TSC. They're both at two different stages of the cryptocurrency life cycle right now. TSC is proving its culture and its identity in those 20K moments of its market cap. So, in super ultra hyper risky asset. And Karma right now is demonstrating its marketability to the mid market at around 400, 500K. Yeah. So, how's your week going, Hulk? I mean, aside from all of those updates, how's it going? Are you living?
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm happy you said beside all those updates. I was like, oh man, I got to think of them all again.
I have to say, running into you last Saturday was a bit of a dream come true because there are so few projects that are doing it right in the space. And Hulk Inu has all of the blueprints sorted out, which I think is incredible. So I'm definitely looking to sidestep for this. And when you talk about the plans for, and the Inu metaverse and the comic, and just all of the details that you have in place that bring credibility to a project, I think that that's super exciting. So there aren't many tax plays that exist right now that I say I'm bullish about that tax play, and Hulkinu is one of them. So thank you very much. I don't know how else I would have learned about Hulkinu. We all come into this space from different quarters, I've learned. And full disclosure, I came in from the muck of the null address and my parents in this whole ecosystem are, just, you know, pea and deers. Like I learned about shitcoins and everything just and got to know people, and you just learn about things totally different from the community that you enter into Web3 through. And it was just so interesting. So I've been looking to meet up with just Inu crews and utility crews for months and months and months, and it finally feels like there's a connection happening for myself, just as Swift Oshi. But that said,
Hey, beautiful.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's exactly the vibes we're going for with this space. I mean, I know a lot of other spaces. There's all these rules of, promote your NFT or, don't promote your project. But we wanted to do it more like, just bringing people together, do your thing. If there is some type of crazy person on there, you always have the mute button, which we always try not to use. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy that directly right off the bat you reached out to Deconnect.
Yeah,
Because yeah, that exactly what you're saying of how do you want to get into more lanes of this space, but how it's not very Googleable, is it? So that's a big thing on what they're doing with crypto education for it.
for real.
So I'm happy, and that goes for anybody here. If you're hearing something that you like or some type of collaboration, you'll probably end up getting a lot of marketers. But yeah, I mean, feel free to connect, intertwine, talk about things that you're facing that are issues, and maybe I can address them or somebody in the space can address them, and we can have this as like a brainstorm session weekly.
For real. You know what I really like about it is, so I talk to a lot of people about the power of memeology, and that our meme is part of our DNA. And it's interesting because I recently came to understand what it means to be an established project. And I think there's a lot of like, you know, uh, relativism to that. But in the zero tax space, it means that, you made it through, as Crypto Wonderful would say from Crypto Radio, he'd say, you've made it through that first parabolic move. And then you fight through that initial like J curve. And for everybody that's listening, if you don't play in zero tax tokens, like that initial parabolic move can only it sometimes goes to 40K, and then it goes to three. And then a community either forms or it doesn't. Swing traders show up or they don't. Community gets together, bands together, and either there's going to be socials that existed from a dev, or there's not, or people build them or not. And after a period of strife and coming together, like meme brings gravity and marketing product develops. And then, you see floors develop, you see charts grow. And, then there's another parabolic move. And then that parabolic move becomes like the real challenge. And once a token's existing in that real challenge, you start to see something that's established. You start to see the development in the reality of actual technical analysis. You see things hitting support zones and bouncing, and it's like the magic of human psychology. Like, does the chicken come before the egg? But all of it's happening in this beautiful magic of Web3 DeFi, right? And I'm really lucky, and I think this is a good swing, to be speaking about ONI in that capacity, because ONI is an established zero tax token. There's a lot of zero tax tokens right now that are making their move, and they're seeking out their name and establishment. But we're really lucky, and this comes back full circle. Hulk Inu has that meme, right? In your DNA, you have the power of Hulk, which is incredible. And you stand up, and just like what's coming up on Wednesday, we get to stand up project to project, and we get to speak to our value propositions. And Oni understands the opportunity that we have here, but to be in a room with Tax Haven Inu and with Mikoto, um, and eHive, um, and
And
so many
Kodachi.
more. I mean, exactly. And I mean, I know a number of the organizers in these communities, and it means a lot to us. So there's some things I just wanted to kind of bring to the board. We're pretty proud as ONI in the zero tax space. We've got a very powerful meme. If anyone's not heard of us, that's hashtag ONI, ONI, ONI. It's not ONI because it's on ONI. The guys have taught me that. So the meme for Oni is actually the opposition to the meme of Sukha in Buddhism. Oni is the spirit of all evil. It is the spirit of the human condition. It is the struggle that all of us face when we have to make those choices. And it's evolved throughout the Japanese meta in history. And so today, it doesn't mean the sort of thing that it meant, 2,000 years ago. But today, that idea of, Oni, in the lore, I really connects with me when I think about the human condition. And really, when we look about the sorts of things that we're trying to accomplish with Oni, it's always kind of come back to that. So I'm working on my presentation, Hulk, for Wednesday. I'm on these long hikes, thinking to myself, how will I elevator pitch to everybody, sort of what our value proposition is and how we stand out distinct. Um, there's some really exciting things about the zero tax space, and the thing that Oni has brought to the table over the last 2 months, early August, is that we're the tax token that said, fuck competition. There's no more competition in crypto. There are no more substitutes. There is so much niche that we all exist in sector freedom. And it's something that we've been doing as our value proposition to the entire space, just building partnerships. And so every opportunity that we have, we establish affiliations, as in, we've got our Wednesday stand up that we've got going on. And so that's for us is an affiliation. We've affiliated with Havoc. They're a reflection token, their bank model. We had an opportunity to really go head to head with a few other tokens, Zen, with What the Frenchie, and then also USDC. And we were very close to winning that. We've created partnerships with What the Frenchie, and we've got others that are lined up and that are also blossoming, including one with Sukha Mercenary right now. And so we're just chasing these kind of opportunities, and we're seeking to help out other zero tax tokens, but also other tax tokens, and how they are able to connect with crypto audiences. And we're finding that that's working out really well for us. In the midst of it all, for our own self, there's a back end to this. We're trying to create, or we're striving to create a utility that brings together the entire crypto world. And it sounds really ambitious and gregarious, but we're hoping that we can figure out something that's really low in scale, very high in MVP, but at the same time, that's something that changes how we look at crypto. And so there's a number of us that are working behind the scenes. I can share with you right now that it's called Synthetic DeFi. And it's a big idea that came from deep within our community. And we're doing our best to work on this pro bono and to attract partners and affiliates that we can to do something different, something that raises value for everybody that gets involved, and at the same time is fun for everybody. The purpose of it is, it wouldn't be much to say what the purpose of what we're trying to do here, much like what we're trying to do by increasing competitiveness in crypto and increasing success of other projects. What we're trying to do is obviously bring greater benefits to our own liquidity pool and to our own holders. But we see that the only way to do that is by doing it for all. That's our value proposition. That our best angle to serve crypto is to be everyone's friend. And in doing that, we're hoping that we can we can start to get to what we consider to be the major crisis in crypto, which is liquidity. So the whole notion of the project that we're working toward, and who knows how long it'll take, Synthetic DeFi, is to provide a counter liquidity protocol for crypto projects. Um, sure, It's going to be hard. It's probably going to be a lot of long sleepless nights. And with the zero tax token and no marketing budget, it's going to come. It's going to come free or not at all. So we've got a lot of things that are on our plate. Our chart looks pretty good. When you dig really deep into the Oni story, uh, we've been supported early on just by happenstance. Gampopa, Requisium, two really well-known OG Shiba whales. They're amongst our top 10 holders, and we have a number of other Suka whales that just hopped on. It came from a submeta that happened in early August. A couple of devs showed up into the space at the really lowest level of the muck of the null address, and they launched some lower liquidity zero tax tokens. So we've got higher beta than some might have, but one of the things that we've recognized as we go forward is that developing a culture of give and take, a culture of depositing and withdrawal, these are the kind of things that one needs to develop in any DeFi project. So that gives you a little bit of an overview of Ani. I'm still working on that pitch for Wednesday. These are some of the things that kind of come to mind, Hulk. But I already know what my first statement will be. So as you can tell, affiliations like this, they add energy, right? They add positivity and optimism. And that's one of the things that's in our DNA. We know that when there's support, when there's friendship, that there's opportunity. And that's one of the most important things to us in Oni. That's one of the things that our holders, they value. They see, us promoting a contest of a partner, and they don't panic. They see us mention a ticker of another project. We've created a new partnership, and we get buys, right? And that's the kind of change that we're looking to do in the space. We want people to see that there's strength in community, and the community is more than just holders. The community is the leaders in memes and projects, and it's coming together and establishing, those golden threads between one another. So, yeah, I'll leave it there. I'll wrap it up with just saying that, this opportunity to get involved more with Hulk Inu, it's special, it's magical. That's crypto. you know the opportunities present themselves, and it's on us to make the sacrifice and to do our best with them, right? So that's what I'd say just about Oni. There's a couple of people that are here. I mentioned Hulkino was doing a space, and Oni was going to have an opportunity to speak. I mentioned also that I'd mentioned Karma. If you haven't checked out Karma, Karma is doing really, really well right now in the charts. It's the first zero tax token with a burn mechanism. Okay, and we're really happy for that for in the Karma community from Oni. They're really kicking ass right now. And there's a number of other great projects. Um, I think that there is one thing that I'd finally say, just before I kind of sign off, and that's, Oni is a community token. Um, we can't achieve the things that we achieve without the work of like 20 active people, from the volunteer mods that run it 24/7, through to the people that focus on marketing, to the people that show up for our meetings every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, or those that are in the community that throw like half a dozen spaces a week. Um, so really lucky that everybody's participating and giving their all. So thanks a lot for inviting us to this. Uh, we're always interested in showing up and chatting about the space and the story of Oni. Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
the best.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're happy to have you here too. Take it as like, a teaser for what's to come on Wednesday. This beautiful, positive, collaborative AMA standoff, the first of many. The same with this Twitter space too. This is something we're doing weekly, to bring over, more people into the space. I kind of want to treat it more like a private group. People can chill, people can come up and talk about that chill. People can just ask, high end questions, what's going to happen with the market if this happens, or like, how do I adjust gas fees, ranging from those different levels of, we'll obviously update about Holkino, about the AMA standoff coming, new utility being released, NFTs are out right now, super bullish, super unique concept. We'll definitely throw those in between everything, for mutual beneficial dances is kind of one of the pillars that we stand on. Mutually beneficial for partnerships, alliances, mutually beneficial for utilities that are coming out or promotions that are being crossed. But yeah, it's great having you here as well, since you guys. I know you guys are zero tax, and know you're community focused, and we're big on revolutionizing. How to run a community, how to engage with the community. Hence, like our viral promo contest. We could have hired a musician, but we want the community's voice to represent Holkino. But even the people that don't win this contest still have their voice on our 24/7 YouTube channel that also our members can put songs into, and things like that. So it's constant growth. And just like you said, there's announcements that are happening, so people don't panic, especially in a bear market. I know in a bull market, it's about momentum and moving quickly. But we're adding on to that momentum with, constant communication, iDocs. I'm on VC every day at 5 p.m. EST, or we're hosting this space, or I'm on an AMA. We have an AMA with Adam Shelton on Monday. So, it's the constant delivery. So, obviously people in a bear market, ETH's dropping just alone on what Ethereum's doing, they're panicking. So we like to reassure them how we're revolutionizing, pushing out your name, how we're revolutionizing, community growth and advancement as a unit, how we're fighting the bear market as well. You have to be relentless, when you're a CEO of any company, and you have to, it's not just hard work pays off. It's at the same time, it's obsession equals hard work. So it's, I can't take a shower without checking the chat.
For real. Yeah, I know. I kind of know how that is. In the zero tax space, I'm lucky in that in some ways I can't keep focused. Like I know that's like one of my weak spots. My girlfriend's always on about that. Like I would never be able to lead a project as complex and deep as Hulk Inu. And that's why when I look at it, I just know how much work and dedication goes into it. Um, you know, uh, I'm the sort of person who, a zero tax token with a lot of people that are throwing in, and we're all kind of making stone soup together. That's kind of more my vibe. And I'm lucky to play a role with people that kind of keep my wild eyes on the road, so to speak. So I'm just so lucky that I get to meet people that have great heads on their shoulders in crypto, like you, um, and like so many others. So my job is to make sure, whenever we get to these kind of turning points, that I roll up my sleeves and I put my sweat and my blood and my tears into it. We come back around to the next meeting, and it's we've got visionaries that are on our teams. You've got visionaries on your team, um, and there's just so many opportunities. When we work together and we build together. One of the things that I was going to share with you, if I had the opportunity, and I do right now, is that we're going to be having a huge marketing push when it comes to um, Wednesday. So we're coming around to it tomorrow, and then we're gonna have Monday and then Tuesday and then Wednesday, and it's just gonna at Oni, it's gonna be all Hulk Inu because we want to get a big showing to come out to the event, and win or lose, it's about making a good show. It's about presenting well. There's so many great projects that are there, and it's just a blessing to be established and to be fighting the good fight, to have been able to go through the whole process and to meditate on the meme and to hear the community and to listen to the pain points and then to realize, where your niche is going to be and what you can bring to the space. Hulk Inu has a premier suite of things it's delivering for crypto. And if there's any way that we can plug into what Hulk Inu is doing with our sort of utility, I think that that could be a lot of fun. Um, uh, to have the kind of rigor and the full picture that you have at Hulk Inu, I think that that's the dream. It's more of a challenge for zero tax tokens, of course. You look at this and of course, it's a different reality in total. When you're coming at it from a zero tax token perspective, there's the challenges are different. Um, but one of the benefits of having taxation for being a holder is that you know that you have a team and a dedicated group of people and a clear vision. And when you've got Hulk Inu, you look at the teleology of Hulk Inu. I'm sure that all of us can agree that we don't hold enough of it. So thanks so much for inviting us tonight. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to get in touch with Decentra, and we're going to keep fitting in as best we can because what we want to do is we want to build these linkages. We want people that are in our community to know that they need to diversify their portfolio because portfolio diversification is needed in crypto because liquidity is low everywhere. So everybody needs to hold Alkino, right? And you can't just be in 3 cryptos. You got to be in the best ones. And I'm a guy who says to a lot of people, why are you buying anything that's over 500K? Why aren't you buying $25 and everything below it? And that's because I'm a hyper risk taker, but it's also because I have some vision and some beliefs. And um, it's something I've been telling a lot of people too about Hulkino. So thanks so
Yeah,
much for tonight, man.
for sure. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, and I know what you mean about the struggles with zero tax and our tax. We already because we have 4 utilities, well 5 utilities out in 2 months with 3 underway coming soon. And while
Love it.
promoting everything with constant growth. Yeah, so I mean, I know what you mean. Like, yeah, you have to be cost effective when you're moving this way for you to survive the bear market, keep pushing, doing everything. Thankfully, we have Wolverino Advisory on our back, and we obviously all did very well from Wolverino. So we're good to go with it can take years. We're still fine, still growing and pushing and putting in these new aspects. So yeah, no, yeah, I do appreciate you coming in. I'm really excited for the AMA standoff. You're not alone with pushing it out the days beforehand. All projects should be doing that. Everyone promotes to their own discretion. I don't like to put on ties to anybody. Do what you want to do. And as far as the market cap of a project, I personally invest into team consumer behavior and really the plan. I like to hear about the plan going forward. And especially in the bear market, I like to hear things that are different, things that are, innovative, because those are things that can really get a role and the aspect of word of mouth, which is the essence of virality, of being viral. So yeah, that's what I've been looking at as well as, not just I'm riding the wave and let me get in real early. It just launched. I'd rather wait it out and see how they're navigating the market and navigating their roadmap.
For real. And development is always the challenge. It really is. So we're really lucky to be making an acquaintance and looking to impress um, at our level. So thanks so much, man.
Absolutely, man. Feel free to DM me with anything that you need. And thank you for coming up. I see
Thank
Chad
you.
has been waiting for some time, so I'll be unmuting you. And also a big shout out to Believes in here as a listener. Believes is always right. Big boss in the house. Happy to have you here, bud. With that, let's see, Chad. Let's see if you're around, and feel free to speak your mind, my guy. Chad, are you here? He might have fell asleep during our conversation, Swifty.
Oh no, I do that to everybody. Oh,
I know it's
oh.
interesting. I should.
It's the I'm such a Forrest Gump, man. I'm so Forrest Gump. It's like I I have like those positives and then I have the non-positives. I hope I wake him up. That's for sure.
Yeah, no worries. You were intriguing, my man. I kept going with it too. I wasn't really ending the conversation.
That's ah the Swifty ramble sauce. I always try to tie it up though, but there's always so many ties. I know that I've got a couple of colleagues that are on my line that are on the line right now that if you're waiting for a speaker to come up, they might choose to speak about a project, but most of them are in development still. Not sure if you're interested.
Yeah, I mean anyone could speak. It's not necessarily my interest. It's whoever wants to say something, and it sparks the interest of somebody listening.
I see football bats here. I'm not sure if he's able to chat, but he's in a number of projects right now that are super, super exciting. There's actually an NFT project that he's in. He got he's really made me excited about. It's in a latent phase right now, but they've got some huge plans. It's called House of Clowns. I hadn't bought NFTs in a long time, and these ones were $6 a piece. It's pretty exciting stuff. Um, I wouldn't want to speak too much about other projects, but I've been really enamored with this zero tax token called Karma right now. I'm not sure if you heard about it. Have you heard of Karma?
Yes, I have by name.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Karma, yeah, Karma is a zero tax and it has a burning mechanism. And I think that's it. It's very quiet, hush hush right now because there's no taxes, so there's no like paid callers, and people are hearing about it word of mouth. I can confirm for you that Crypto TomTom is in the community. Um, Poe also recently joined the community. Um, and there's a lot of really good energy and a lot of good chads that are in there. I've been in the community. I bought the top on day one and just lived through sort of I guess the U as it kind of came up from 25K. And I actually got into it because of the art. Um, the history and the story of that project is that it's actually on a V2 launch. They launched a V1 and it was a 4.4 tax token. And it didn't really peak. It was at the time when Harmony was really being driven in the market. I think we all kind of know Harm. And I'd say that the style in the mood or the tone of the art was similar. I'd heard at the time when their V1 launched, there was a bit of there was a I wouldn't call it FUD, but I'd say that there was some interesting things that I was seeing in chats at the time, comparing them Harm to Karma. And Karma had a 4.4 tax, and Harm at the time had 2.2. And it's interesting. I kind of like stopped. I found it interesting. I thought, wow, this really has a neat brand. The dev was positive in the chat. And then I stopped paying attention. I got busy. And then I just kind of stumbled into Twitter one night and one of their OG V1 holders like posted, we just relaunched zero tax. And we burned the LP, and I'm huge about zero tax tokens with burned LP that are underlying paired in ETH, just from a last man standing perspective. So over time, the curve of that goes to the infinite of ETH, right?
Yeah.
And so there's always like you burn and lock a paired ETH, like um, you know, it's not the greatest investment, but like if you bought in early and you just hold forever, you know, it last man standing works. So I was like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna ape in this. Um, and it was so interesting. The dev is an artist, the dev is present and active. The question at the time was how active and present is the dev going to be? And over time, the dev was just committed to running this project the dev wanted to run. So it was cool and fun like that, and it's grown. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. Uh, a new friend of mine, Rico Moneybags, he's made a few YouTube videos about it, and has been demonstrating sort of how the TA is moving on point to a chart of that volume and magnitude. And I've been really interested in it. It's following his stuff. It's been helpful for me in learning and everything. So I can mention that as we maybe wait for Chad.
Well, we have
Chad.
football as well unmuted.
Oh, yeah.
So if you wanted to speak, or she.
So I filled some gap.
Yeah.
Yay.
How you doing tonight, Hawk? Hey, Swift Toad.
Doing good, thank you.
Hey.
Yeah, like Swift was saying, man, the clowns, they are an amazing group of guys. And there are a lot of females in there too, but the two that run it are they're called Foma Bozo and Buddy Marbles. And they do the most amazing, they do like dinner theaters on like Fridays and Saturdays where it's like it's just them two and they do like a skit, but it's like it's almost you feel like you're fucking there, man. It is so cool. And just the way the community vibes and how everybody is there. It's just everybody helps everybody. The beginning platform for their project was give, give, give. So when they first came out, it was a free mint, by the way, also. They free mint everything out, and then secondary sales happened. And then they came out with what they call the haunted suites, which is you get a room inside of their haunted hotel, which is depending on what you want to do with it, you can host up to 50 people in this room. And it's like a private setting room, a lot more private than Twitter, where the only people allowed in that room are the ones that have your actual code for that room. So it's like a passcode to where you can get in and out of that room. But you can host up to 50 people on the walls. You can have any NFT thing you could think of. There's three things on the wall. You can post shilling material. You can put videos on the wall. Anything. It's all marketing stuff is what it's really used for. Or you can just put like pictures on the wall that you would do in like a normal room. It's going to be very, very, very cool. And to actually be part of it, you have to own a clown to be able to go inside of the haunted suite and stuff. And like what Toshi said, the floor right now, I think is like $5 to get one of these damn things. So it is something to get into. The backgrounds all have meaning to them. The green backgrounds are for your 420 crowd, that kind of stuff. The red and blue backgrounds are going to be for the governing officials. They're going to do it like it's they're going to start making it to where everything's voted on now, and it's going to be community driven on votes, not the two devs figure out what the hell they're going to do and then they're going to bring the stuff out. They're actually going to let the community figure out how they want to pursue future endeavors with this with this NFT project. So it's real cool. It's all hands on, so it makes it to where you're actually part of this whole thing. You're not just sitting on the outside as a holder. You're actually, part of the actual clowns. It's cool as hell. It's something to check into. The community is great. Very good vibes. No bullshit there. It's all pretty much how you have your space. You can talk about anything you want, and we'll talk about it. We'll hash out stuff. You can even argue if you want, as long as we are arguing about the same thing and we can figure out a common resolve. Then it's one of them things where you just all grow together. It's neat.
I do like that. I think that's why we're all in decentralized, right? I mean, we don't want to be filtered. So, you're in decentralized space, and then you have all these rules that filter you out. So, like, speak your mind, say what you want to say, but yeah, as long as it's on topic, don't come in here talking about, my boss at work pissed me off today. We'll keep it crypto focused, unless your boss is, Satoshi or CZ. Then yeah, sure, we have some interest. And what was that project for? Football? To clarify?
It is the project that's called House of Clowns. That's clowns with a Z. They're on the OpenSea if you want to go get secondary. They've minted out totally. Like I said, it was a free mint, so they went real fast. I think they minted out. This project started at the beginning of the July, and they were minted out totally by, I'm pretty sure, like 6 days or 7 days in. And I'm pretty sure the contract was 10,000 NFTs. So they dropped 10,000 NFTs real quick.
Oh, sheesh. Yeah, that's pretty bullish. Oh, speaking of free NFTs, we're on the Adam Shelton AMA on this Monday. We're giving away free NFTs for our NFT holders. So if you hold an NFT, that's one ticket for this, yeah, I guess the lottery raffle, whatever it may be. And you can win more NFTs. The more NFTs you have, the bigger perks you have as well, and increased stake and rewards. The NFTs are zero point 0.2 Ethereum for multiple reasons. They have more than 5 utilities attached to them. And the whole idea is that goes into our staking pool, which is like bounced off by NFT holders exclusively in rewards, with more rewards coming in, of course. But yeah, the idea is like an investment, and you get your ROI, and then a higher stake and rewards over time, profit sharing. You can also get zero buy and sell tax, what I call the swing trader package, through these NFTs inside use it in the Meta Brawl Inu game coming out of the Shiba Volt, Shibnobi, and of course Wolverine, the creator, our father token. Well, also, aka brother token. And you can use them inside of the Hulk Inu game as well, and also get profit sharing in our Inu studios. And that is just some of the utilities. But yeah, very interesting. NFTs, we're trying to revolutionize those as well. We are already, as far as in Chainlink, we had some very high end CEOs, in awe, and then asking all these follow up questions, and the perched lips and the shaking of the head with answers. So got us nice and extra bullish on it. So we're pushing out NFTs more and more as we go. And yeah, so you get a positive ROI on it. But 10,000, that's a lot. We have 1,000 available in 5 different rounds.
One of the coolest things that I'm really excited about, you use the expression filtered. And I think that that's a really powerful verb in DeFi, by the way. I just wanted to say thank you for that before I mentioned this. One of the things that made me really bullish about House of Clowns, and there are some things that all projects are bringing to the space that are value propositions just from a human communications media perspective, right? And so you've got a number of those value props on the Hulkinu side. And one of the things that just astounded me on the House of Clowns side was, much like Zoom Pro, they are building out uh, a meetings capability for rooms the size for 50, just to hold spaces, or Zoom conference calls for 50 people with a room that you can design. And that's exactly why I ended up getting my NFT. Like no cap. I learned about that and I said, wait a second, this builds out, and I've got free access to a Zoom Pro account for 50 of my closest friends per NFT that I have. And I thought that that was really exciting. I just had to add that in, Football Bat. You mentioned it, but I wanted to dig in a bit deeper. So it's there's so many of these value propositions that exist in this space, and the best teams are building and bringing incredible ideas to the fold. Like, for example, how Hulk Inu is bringing to the fold long-term rewards and long-term wealth. You don't see that, right? Like, it's in I I'm disappointed in a lot of crypto because they're not doing what you're doing in Hulk Inu. And there's just not enough projects that are building out institutions. And when I say institutions, I don't mean centralized institutions. I mean decentralized projects that have the value streams of institutions. And when you look at what you're doing with Hulk Inu, the rigor and the strength just structurally, I mean, you're developing what I call counter liquidity protocols. You're creating strength for holding wealth long term in really fun and exciting ways that also connect with a large population of people. So when the bull runs, I just think to myself, how excited are Hulk fans going to be about Hulk Inu, right? Like, anyways, I'm gonna leave it there because I'm the kind of person that just imagines about things like Coinbase and all this rest of stuff with Binance. But it's really exciting because we talk about NFTs and then it shines a light on the stuff that Hulk Inu is doing in the NFTs, right? So that's the
Yeah.
decentralized nature of DeFi, right? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that about football clowns too with Zoom Pro. It's something I think Board 8 API clubs inspired across a lot
Yeah,
of NFTs, you know, some IRL utility and exclusivity together with it that Voltino is doing as well. That, you know,
yeah.
the after party we went to, you had to hold Voltino NFT. So that was pretty cool. And there's more and more events. And that was like on a high rise with drinks included and delicious desserts included. You know, you just feel like you made it. You're like, oh, I'm a Volt, you know, NFT holder. I
And
made
you
it.
did. You did make it. Yeah, you made it. You made it. And that's one of the great things about DeFi, right? Like cohorts make it in DeFi, right? And that's like one of the most beautiful things about it. It's like, yeah, you picked up on Voltino. Like, but I come from the cohort that didn't. But like you see the progress of DeFi and no one's missed out. But it's interesting too, right? Because you look ahead and it's only going to be a month from now, and Volt Inu is a household name, right? And crypto's crazy like that. It's like the projects that do it right, that make it. And everybody that's along for the ride makes it. And it's those sorts of things. It's those sorts of stories about Volcano that are pretty beautiful, right? And it's the same story for Volcano. Like I'm not going to Swifty curse this, but like, I mean, there's so many things that you're doing right, man. And it's a role model for the rest of us.
And that really warms the heart, man, because, you know, like Voltino, Wolverino are role models for us. And we try to follow in their footsteps by, you know, making a different imprint. And you know that's it's a big key to success. You know, you don't
Yeah.
reinvent the wheel. You know, you don't. Nothing in life is truly created; it's recycled. So you know, you got to
Yeah.
follow these blueprints. But you know, you bring your own crafts. You bring your own colors, your own pencils, pens, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And you know, Voltino, like that they when we were at SmartCon, they did a lot. They got listed on Polygon. They have 120 buses in LA and New York just riding around with Voltino in it. The members were telling me that, yeah, somebody was in a bus. Said, I'm in a bus right now. Haven't heard about you guys, but the fact that you're on a bus, I just aped 15K. That was my buy. So you know, boom, works. So you
Yeah.
know these interesting concepts. You know you got to follow these pioneers, and you get inspired by it. So, you know, Voltino does a bus that's wrapped in it. Maybe we do an airplane, a Hokino on the bottom of airplanes all across the world. You know, things
Oh
like that
my
as far as
God.
inspiration.
Yeah. I mean, that's Hulk, right? I mean, there's so many things that you have to do that like fit your meme and your dimensions, like on the bottom of airplanes or, you know, on the whole side of a skyscraper, right? Like when you start meming the meme, when you start engaging the memeology, it's really incredible what specialization is. It's about comparative advantage, right? Like it's incredible. It's really it's really wine and tulips, right? It's like go back to like first year undergrad and it's really that, Spain and Portugal, supply and demand graph in crypto. And it's like you said, it's like we got to do everything that we can in DeFi to make sure no one filters it out. And I mean, it's the strength of what you're doing for these spaces, the standoff, um, and these as well. Also, you know, not everybody gets a meeting with like a spaces with Adam Shelton, right, on a Monday night. So
Yeah,
kudos,
yeah,
man. Kudos.
yeah. You know,
Kudos.
we do our best to have our, you know, this is our chill space, and then we have our Telegram VC that's, you know, update based, and then bring in your questions, and we'll talk and we'll brainstorm based on the community. But then in AMAs, you know, we try to make them more entertaining. I had a AMA planned with one of our YouTubers. It was his first, and he couldn't get his microphone to work. Then we rescheduled, and then his internet wouldn't allow him to speak. It was
Oh
like
my.
extremely choppy. But I asked him, "Did you prepare like a list of questions of some sort?" And he said, "Yeah, I did." And I said, "Share them over to the community. We'll pin them. I'll eh, interview myself So I was on camera in like a blazer, and yeah, he sent his questions in, and I basically read them off. Like took my blazer off, read the question, put my blazer on, answered the question as myself, like very like theatrical.
Yeah,
Did that the whole way through, and that
very
sprouted
Hulk.
the. Yeah, I want to do
Yeah.
that next. I want to do the solo AMA with Adam Shelton or Bleaves or someone that we've done AMAs with, and I'm on screen, and it's them like in a chat, like in the comments on YouTube or something. They ask the questions, and I'm like Two Face. I have the side of my face painted as Hulk, and I'll read it with my normal face as the interviewer, and then turn to the other side of the camera as Hulk and answer the questions.
For real. And that's the fun, right? And you're
That's
having
the
fun.
meme ability, man. Yeah.
That's the
That's
meme.
it. Meme equals marketing. You use stuff, and it's just your
Yeah.
theme. We stand behind strength, ferocity. Hulk never dies. Hulk loves green, hates red. But then it also goes into our utilities being colorful, animated, anime, cartoon based, things like that. Following, again, inspired by Marvel, but to avoid copyright, that's why it's Hulk Inu, not the Incredible Hulk, and that's it. The character in the comics that you can check out, he has to have different superpowers. If he was just strong, that's also copyright infringement or a transformation only. So like breathe
Right.
fire, he can fly, things like that. He holds a sword. These things to be inspired by, but not a full on copy. So yeah, I mean that's what memes are. It's not just you
Right.
know your favorite meme and people are like, oh, I love this meme. Let me put thousands of dollars into it. No, it starts with Hulk. I know Hulk. And then you see the theme, you see the theme of the utilities. Like, okay, I understand why they chose the name Hulk. It makes sense. It's not just She Hulk's coming out.
Yeah. And there it is. The education, the diligence. I mean, you just don't see that. So we're really lucky to make your acquaintance, Hulk. Real lucky.
Likewise, man. Likewise. Hopefully, it's the start of many more collaborations across projects. Hopefully, on the AMA standoff, people do their pitches and they're listening along, like, oh shit, I was gonna say that, but that is a sign of collaboration, not a sign of, oh no, my spotlight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and to bring it back to Oni, because you always want to bring it back to your project.
That's right.
I mean, and that's what we're trying to build there in Oni. And because that's something that I noticed in the last run up, the space just and this is something else that I'm working on in another project right now in marketing product for. You know, when we look at crypto, we look at cohorts and we also look at like the values of like the Darwinism in the middle of those. And one of the things that I looked at when I saw last bull run is that it was a lot of me versus you. And it wasn't a lot of we're part of all the same ecosystem. We're part of the same environment. We exist at the same stream and we all drink from this river. Um, you know, uh, you know, we're all the we're all the omnivores. We're all the vegetarians. That's the tiger, you know. And this is the kind of fun. I think we're at this fun stage right now. We're in early October. Everybody knows this is up top, October. October always happens, and really, like the fireworks don't start until like October 20th. And it's kind of interesting because these sorts of collaborative outcomes, they really take off really quick. So I'm interested to see this autumn, like the outcomes of these sorts of initiatives, because out of nowhere we can really see a snap of the fingers in a season change and a sea change, if you will. So thanks a lot, man. We're always looking at things for the perspective, and this is our challenge. Like you said, the mold's always the same. You want to be applying wake theory in its entirety. You don't want to be recreating the wheel. You want to be looking ahead and saying, that is our role model. That's Papa Zero Tax, or that's Papa Hulk, right? And for us, unfortunately or fortunately, whatever it is, our archetype is Shiba, right? Like you look at this thing and you're like, okay, okay, so the standard we have to stand up to is Shib. So it's humbling, and you just look at every day and you say, how is it that I can add value today? So this one, this this Spaces today just gets added to the annals of the week, you know? So I want to say thank you so much. Also, if please consider me a participant in Hulk E-News Spaces as we go forward, man, because this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're going to be developing the spaces more and more inspired on, your spaces and all these other Twitter spaces out there, how people are bringing in new concepts to it. This is an add-on to our daily VC instead of just on every day on Telegram, bring it to Twitter. But yeah, I mean that's the concept that we're all working towards, and that's why we wanted to launch in the bear market, to be able to build in the bear market, to really pump in the bull market. At the same time, we're fighting the bear. There's other projects out there as well that are fighting this bear markets. But as far as utility and value that we're bringing, that's also a bit helpful, right? So in the bear we can build, and that is building trust, verifiability, that this good knowledge of we're building something up, and the more that we build, the stronger that the floor told, the more we explain it. And the thing is, it's not just a daily thing anymore. It's that we already have what, 5 utilities out, 3 on the way. Every day more are coming. I have a list of utilities that we can bring out with a list of connections that can bring them out in like a day or two. But it's timing. But a big advocate that I'm on is you moving with synergy, and that entails interconnected utility and growth.
Hmm.
So new promoters or new venues, but new utilities bring in new promotions which connect to old utilities and utilities to come. Like our NFTs is we have staking out already, no lock tokens, Ethereum rewards, and NFTs are a utility that connect into V2 staking, that connect into an organic market maker that you have a bunch of people compounding every 8 hours. So it's that, and then also it's profit sharing inside of our comic book, also being developed as we speak. So there's all these different utilities. They're all operating in one cohesive system, which is something that I'm working on that I can't overshare on. That's that mystery utility
For real.
with this very similar concept, and so unique that it doesn't have a name. Nobody's done this before, but it's one of those things of what the fuck? How has nobody done this before? So it's exciting to start developing on that too, and that's
Hmm.
weeks in progress as well, which will be continued in perpetuity along with the NFTs. Same thing, staking, same thing. Comic goes into many other utilities that all it's not just a one and done. They all continue, but they also connect with each other, and that pushes everything forward. Where now that we're at this
Yeah.
point, I can say that now we're here. Hulk is for sure an undeniable force. I
Yeah.
say I say
Yeah.
Bitcoin can go down to 3K tonight. Hulk is still unstoppable force as long as Bitcoin recovers. It's still got to be realistic.
Guaranteed. It's guaranteed. That I will put my Swiftoshi guarantee on that. Bitcoin goes forever. And
Yeah, exactly. I'm with
yeah,
you.
yep. It's they're going to be using Bitcoin in uh I know this sounds crazy. They're going to be using Bitcoin in a million years, man. Like it's just so forever. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Um
what got me was banks adopting it and entire countries using it.
yeah. What there's a movie that exists. I can't even remember the name of it. Oh, damn it. I should remember it. I'll tell you what it is later, but there's this futuristic movie. Actually, you know what? It's there's actually another movie. It's called Jupiter Rising, I think. It was done by what the brothers who did The Matrix. And there's a bunch of like bureaucratic technology that's in it. And every time I watch that movie, I'm like, somebody pays for something, and they're like, yeah, we have to wait for the network. It's so slow. And every time I watch it, I'm just like, that's Bitcoin. They're like in this like crazy future reality, and they're like in the universe, and it's like all these radio frequencies and lasers are sending in information places. And every time I see the movie, I'm just like, oh, that's Bitcoin. and and it's so true. Like once you build an infrastructure that works, even if you have to wait 10 minutes for something, the 10 minutes is ethereal at the end of the day. It's like, what ends up being as safe as, or humans are lazy, what's going to replace it? No one's going to create gold that travels in a second. um, Bitcoin will always be Bitcoin, and I'm really bullish on it. So you're absolutely right. I agree. Hulking is a complete force. I've had the luck of getting to know you better as we've gone through these spaces. And, amateur to developer, as we go, I might pick your brain for some guidance as I try and unravel this, our own user story map that we have for our own utility. And it's interesting to hear you speak about that last utility that you have that no one's done before, because we're fighting this bear, right? And every day we're like, let's fight the bear. We got to fight the bear. And what it's done for me and strong developers alike is it allows us to go on our user story maps, and we're developing it and we're developing it and developing it, and then eventually you get to that final circle on the schematic, and you're like, there it is. It's a closed system now. And when you get to that point of realization, you're like, I've closed system my utility system, right? You have this sense of achievement because you know that at that point, it's just the value starts feeding into the value, starts feeding into the value. And it's something only that's possible in DeFi. And that's my academic opinion on it. When you start working with centralized forces, of course, you're always going to have bleed. You're going to have value bleed out there and there. And when you build in DeFi, the only place where you can have quote unquote value bleed is through buy and sell pressure. Because if you've contained your system off, then it's self-operating. And so long as you take control of those prudential controls that, come from on the tax side, it's all smooth, right? So it's interesting when you talk about Hulk Inu, I know that that's the case, that you've got symmetry when it comes to your utility schematic. And it's interesting because there's not many that do. It's in the nuances. You got to listen to developers talk, and that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for. Whenever I meet with developers or whenever I meet with like colleagues in the community, it's the symmetry and it's the commitment to closed systems and the passion to fight the bear, but also knowing, how not to filter stuff out. So thanks again, man. I have to admit, I am trying to add a page in WordPress for our own website tonight. And you just keep deving, right? It's like I'm sitting down here on a Saturday night and working like hell to try and create 2 new pages on our own website. And that's what you got to do. You just got to keep fighting the bear, man.
Yeah, it's true. And deving, the simple page, it turns into hours of work because, you get pulled left and right. Every sentence, you get a new message.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah. Yeah.
address it.
Yeah. You're deving and then you see, spaces. You're like, I gotta hop in there. And then you change your post from tonight to overnight.
Yeah.
New website update coming overnight. So yeah, and I mean the community is always, the best communities are flexible and the best communities are understanding. So thank you so much for hosting tonight. I'm really glad that we had the opportunity to jump in, and also I always need a bit of rehearsal and recital before I speak publicly. So really appreciate the openness, man.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely, man. I really look forward to hearing from you on Wednesday. I can tell you what I'll be telling people before the AMA standoff. It's going to be uncomfortable for me to do, but right at that 10-minute mark, I have to mute. So just I would advise what I do when I have a timer on it is I have a timer up for myself to see, for me to speed up and whatnot. And then that way you can end right on the mark.
Oh yeah, I have to present to executives every week on Tuesdays, so I'll be under the wire, man.
There you go. All right. Even more excited.
For real.
All right, well, I will leave it open to if anybody else would like to speak. If not, I will close out the space. As a reminder for everybody here, we will do these every Saturday. This is our first Saturday and our second Twitter space that we are hosting. We will be incentivizing it as well, and also bringing on more projects to be able to shill their concepts. And sometimes we'll have a challenge one. So instead of me being nice and unbiased and positive, we can bring it into more of like, challenge other projects or, like a review type of thing. Like tell us about your project, and then we'll do 3 questions that will be like, that'll break it down of like, well, how are you going to do this? But it should be, the idea is not to break you down, but for that critical feedback. We've been on those spaces ourselves, and it's just about opening your ears, hearing them, and the feedback that we got, we applied within 2 or 3 days. just for updating our website to make it a bit more clear for what people are doing. There was mentions like, well, I see you guys don't have a game, and then we saw, okay, I see that there's a trailer, but we don't say that we're in the game. So we added some aspects in for that too. So it's just good to get an audience's eyes on your project and have some of those new things. But yeah, we'll be doing a bunch of different things. We have a list of ideas, some completely new, fresh for Twitter Space, and some incorporating what's already been there and building it piece by piece. The idea of doing this is, one, don't use all your ammo in one go, but also leaving it for interpretation from our community members. So anytime we have these, our community can say, hey, why don't we do this? We had the last time about putting Smash or Pass in the title, which is a Easter egg for that challenge thing of like, yeah, smash, your project's good, we endorse it, or pass, mute, next, come back next week. So we'll be doing things like that, which incorporates Shark Tank aspects, the standard NFT Twitter Space too. But yeah, we'll make it more and more entertaining, but at the same time, it has to be extremely educational for everyone. And just general aspects, community management, education, team up with DConnect, things like that. So already from this one, my mind's racing from the ideas. But yeah, we'll share them around, and we'll bring in other Twitter Space hosts, and bounce ideas off of each other and let them incorporate in their spaces as well. So anybody here that is doing anything crypto that thinks that Hulk Inu can be helpful for, it doesn't need to be publicized. Feel free to DM me, ask me what you need. I'm here for you. I got your back. We're stronger together as a unit. Thank you guys for being on the space. We had some people come in, come out. We had Adam Shelton in the building. We had Bleeze Crypto in the building. We had Crypto Kitty in the building. I missed her space today. I feel bad. I got the guilt when I saw her enter, so I'll DM her. But yeah, guys, our VC inside of our Telegram tomorrow, 5 p.m. EST. Feel free to jump in there if you want some more information on updates as far as what has happened this weekend and what will be happening in the very near future. And feel free to come in with challenges. We do not believe in the concept of FUD as long as it's in the form of a question. Bold statements that are unfounded are not appreciated, but we haven't had them. But any question is welcomed at any time. With that, guys, thank you for joining the Hulk Inu Space. See you here again next week, Saturday. See you in Telegram tomorrow, 5 p.m. EST. And on Monday, see you at Adam Shelton's AMA, where we're giving away NFTs as prize winners with a spinning wheel on screen, a randomizer to choose the winner, and multiple bullish announcements for Hulk Inu to get everybody nice and excited. So find your entry, DCA, do your thing. If you have questions, if you have worries, let us know. We're always here. And like Bleeze says, we're always right. With that, guys, take care and Hulk out.